Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Roscoe, we're back, man.
This is like the build up before the build up, if that makes sense. Like, not this weekend, but next weekend is Fight Island, and we're here to bring you all the latest combat sports news as we always do. But Barry, is the excitement building for it or what?
I'll tell you why, Ross. I'll tell you why. Because last night, someone broke into my house, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But
Oh,
then
they didn't know you watch UFC.
they didn't know I watched the UFC and the Bellator and the Cage Warriors and the boxing. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And then it's got me more excited now for mixed martial arts coming back. But being seriously, like, yeah, that was crazy. And for people that like live with families or friends or whatever, make sure all your shit is locked. And
Yeah,
yeah,
but you're safe and healthy, and so is your family, though.
yeah. We are. Yeah, it was just a bit like I was in bed, and I was just like, "What's going on here?" But like, just people who are at home, like, make sure everything's locked because you could be like, "Oh, that's never going to happen to me," but it can happen to you.
You know what? I'm not even messing, right? If you were like a YouTube vlogger, I could see you like with a thumbnail of like sitting in your porch with your hands over your face like this, being like, "I got robbed."
They
You know
stole.
what I mean?
They,
Yeah.
they stole the cat.
I see the thumbnail now.
Yeah. But yeah. I just wanted to get that out of the way. That's why if anyone's watching this or listening to this, they're like, "Baz, it seems like he's absolutely buzzing." That's the thing. But the show must go on, Ross. You know what I mean, we're here to bring the noise and the crack. But yeah, basically the thumbnail is got to do with countdown to UFC Fight Island, Ross. Because next weekend it is UFC 251, and it's going to be one of the best cards, though most anticipated best cards to look forward to in a long time. Although UFC have been banging out good cards, but like, we're going to talk about Fight Island, Ross, right? There was rumors this was going to be like everywhere. It was going to be maybe in sunny Ireland, or like there was talks of Russia as well. But Ross, Dana White has released some pictures now. Yaz Beach is where it's all going to go down. People's
Yeah, but
lives are going to be
you
changed.
see the way that photo was like on the beach,
Yeah,
right? I think that's like a promo thing. I think like they're gonna fight in one of those arenas that's already built. That makes sense.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, Ross. That's why people are clicking on this to find out what's the story. You know what I mean? Like, this
Yeah,
is.
but I think because they sold the idea of Fight Island, they almost have to have an octagon on the island. And I think Dana White like sort of was like, "We're going to have Fight Island, guys. Get ready." And then everyone went, "Oh, fights on the beach." And then he was like, "Yeah, fights on the beach." And then he was like, "We can't actually do fights on the beach, but there'll be an octagon on the beach, and there is an octagon on the beach."
You're drinking the water and the sand in it.
You know what? Actually, they're going to do their open workouts in that octagon for like the media days, and it'll look class.
Well, that's the thing, right? We may as well start off with that. Okay, no. When do you expect fighters to arrive in? Because obviously UC 251's on next Saturday. Today's Wednesday.
I
Why,
think they
why,
could be
why, like,
arriving in any day today, like you
yeah,
know.
that's the thing. Because like, we do intend on having some of the fighters that are going to be fighting on all the cards on the show, and you want to sort of ask them what Fight Island is like, rather than what do they think it's going to be like. So this show is
Yeah,
getting that out of the way, what we think it's going to be, and um, yeah. So because Darren Till, I saw him doing a few interviews, and by the way, he's hilarious. He was saying that he wants to go to Dubai first and then go to Yaz Island just to climatize. So
yeah, there will be a bit of that because a lot of people, especially who lived in the UK, like Chris Fishgold and Meatball Mullingham, like Liverpool is not the same as Abu Dhabi in terms of climate. And like,
there's meant to be a heat wave though over in England right now.
is there?
Yeah.
Well, I think just like the dryness of the air. Like, do you remember when Cain Velasquez fought Fabrito Verdum in Mexico?
Yeah.
And like, it's just like the air is that much thinner, and you want to have your cardio running shoes on.
Yeah. Okay, so we expect them to go there at least a week in advance. I say
Yeah,
some fighters are going to get better treatment than others.
and also with all the testing, I assume that you have to, be there earlier than later.
Yeah, and are you expecting them all to be in the same sort of hotel, or what
I
do you
think they
expect?
have like a 10-mile radius of area that they've sort of captured. The UFC have, and I think there's a hotel like dedicated to all the fighters. So I'm sure, like, you know, your Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, Volkanovski, and Holloway like probably have a suite, and then as you move lower down the card, you're probably just in a regular hotel room.
What about Bruce Buffer?
He has his own house.
But I wish he did vlogs or something. It'd be cool to see his sort of behind the scenes stuff.
I'm almost surprised Joe Rogan didn't go to Fight Island because I think he's just more. He likes to see how stuff is done. If you know what I mean. He's like he's interested by it. He's intrigued. Yeah, I don't think he was shy about actually calling the fights. I think he just wants to see how it was done.
Yeah, is he 100% not going? Yeah,
I don't think so because he doesn't do any of the international pay-per-views.
but this is like a big one.
Well, who knows? Dana White might be like, right, you can come out on the UFC jet and we'll fly you home on the UFC jet.
And I'm sure there could be some interesting guests you could get on the podcast there as well.
Yeah, true. He could do podcasts from out there. He'd have to fly young Jamie with him.
Oh my god. What do you make of Joe Rogan these days? Is he enjoying his content ever since he's
yeah, but
Spotify?
I still haven't seen him come out and say anything about Chris D'Elia, which I think is very, very strange.
Yeah, we haven't brought that up either.
No. Well, in fairness, I don't think we ever we're not Chris D'Elia fanboys either. Like we never really discuss him. But
that's the thing. I know this is that easy to say once something massive like this comes out. Obviously, he's been accused of soliciting underage girls. I think it's the correct term. But I anytime I watch this stuff, I just found it a bit weird and a bit odd, and it's sort of weird and odd the same way as Theo Von is. But Theo Von almost comes across as if he has a kinder heart.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Theo Von seems like he's actually a nice guy.
Yeah,
and Chris D'Elia seems like he's quite seedy.
Yeah,
like that whole sort of unshaved, long hair look. Like he looks like he might not shower for 2 days. As opposed to Theo Von has he looks like he has a clean mullet.
Oh my god! Okay, I'll give you a second.
True story. If you if you think Chris D'Elia hasn't showered for 2 days from time to time, make sure to leave a comment down below.
For some reason, I actually think that Theo Von looks like he'd go longer without a shower if they did a
shower off.
The shower off, yeah. But
I actually think Theo Von went down to Vegas to see Dustin Poirier, and I think he actually got it in.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah,
I was like, I didn't realize they were so tight.
Yeah,
he's a legend, by the way, Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier, he's a cool guy. I saw he was doing stuff in the build up to his fights. He's been doing loads of stuff in the background. Just cool to see. Ross, another quick question, just touching on Joe Rogan, because we're not sure if he's going to go or not. But obviously, he mentioned that he's gone. Well, everyone knows he's going to Spotify, and Spotify have been onto him, and they're like, "Who's your first guest going to be? Who do you think is the best person for him to kick off his journey on Spotify?"
No, maybe Barack Obama or something. I feel like that. I'd be interested to see him talk about being the prez, and then I'd be interested to see what he'd have to say about Donald Trump.
Jesus, yeah, that's a curveball there. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I think I've done this before. Been name 3 guests you'd like to see him have on. And I'm like, I'd definitely like to see him. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger. That could be cool as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of people he hasn't had on before who I'm like, that will be cool. Obviously, there's the elusive Kanye West interview that is supposed to have been happening 7 or 8 times as well. Yeah,
you see, he was meant to be going on tour with Dave Chappelle as well, and people were asking, was he going to get on? So that was one that was in my mind. But those 3 are pretty good. Obviously,
I feel like he was asked about Chappelle before, and Chappelle, he was like, Chappelle doesn't really like to do podcasts or any of that for a crack. I think he was basically saying Chappelle can do whatever he wants. He doesn't need anyone.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It would be massive if they went into detail about how he turned down 50 million and moved to Africa, but now he's back, and I think he got 60 or 70 or 80 million off Netflix to do a special. So it's a mad world. But yeah, Ross, Yaz Island. What are you most looking forward to with this all going down? Is it going to be the countdown videos? Is it going to be the embedded?
I think I'm looking forward to seeing the first event more than anything. UFC 251 is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
And there's 3 really intriguing fights at the top of the bill. And I'm also I'm excited to see the arena. I'm excited to see, will there be any fans in the arena? Because those sheiks or whatever they want to say have paid so much money to get the UFC over here. And I'm interested to be are there going to be some fans there? What way are the fights going to play out? And what way is the arena going to look?
Yeah. And do you expect them just to build the arena and leave it there, or do you think they're just going to build it and then knock it down?
Well, I'm not 100% sure where they're actually fighting, because like there's that Ferrari dome there. Have you seen that before? And I'm pretty sure UFC 112 was in that Ferrari dome. So I don't know whether UFC is going to fight in there, like the build arena, or whether they're actually building an arena for UFC. Because to me, it doesn't make sense to build an arena on a small island that already has an arena.
I get you.
That wasn't built that long ago. It was built in the last 10 years.
Maybe they just keep the foundations and then just get rid of the stuff inside. But it'd be interesting to see if they do have an audience there as well, because it's just going to be so interesting. It's going to be something new. Some of the fighters have given out about the way the octagons are smaller, and other people like them being smaller, like fans. Are you expecting back to a normal full size octagon?
I'm pretty sure Dana White announced that it's going to be the big octagon.
And what do you prefer from watching it in the Apex?
It's actually different. Different strokes for different folks. Obviously, the higher finish rate in the smaller octagon, smaller space, for people to get away. But someone like Sean O'Malley, you give him that bit of extra space to flow around. It's better. It really favors the grapplers, the smaller octagon, because it cuts off a lot more angles. Someone like Dominic Cruz wouldn't like a smaller octagon because he's more elusive. I think I prefer the bigger octagon. I think it's better if you have more space to work. But then again, it is what it is. You have to try to get in there, get the job done. It's not like the smaller octagon is like an absolutely tiny surface, but there is a massive disparity between each space. Like 30 foot and 25 foot, like there's a solid 5 foot difference, but it's 5 foot the whole way around.
Yeah, man. You did bring up Sean O'Malley. That's something I was going to mention. I don't know what I really like, but they're engaged a lot quicker, So like you wouldn't really have Ngannou.
By anyone, because he'll decapitate them.
No, because remember he fought. I'm just trying to look at some of the cards here on the screen. But remember Ngannou fought
Lewis.
Yeah, Derek Lewis, and they were so far away for the whole time. If they had to engage, if something bigger and better, there would have been a better highlight rather than them running around the octagon. But some of the fights, some of the events that are going to be happening is obviously UFC 251 being headlined by Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns for the welterweight title. That's going to be on a Saturday. Then on the Wednesday, it's going to be Calvin Kattar versus, is it Danny Ige?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
I think it's actually Ige.
I think that's actually like as much as a much, if you know what I mean, wherever you're from. Figueroa versus Benavidez for the vacant flyweight title. That's going to be on the Saturday. Then
if they make weight.
Saturday, if they make weight. Then the following Saturday, Whitaker versus Till, and then
you're back to the Apex thing for Holly Holm.
Yeah, then you're back to the Apex. But what happens if Dana's really enjoying it there? Obviously, America's having these problems, like more and more problems with the coronavirus. Do you think Dana will be like, here, do you know what? Just keep pulling them out, lads. Because I wouldn't be. Because Ross, where's Miocic versus Cormier meant to be held at UFC 252?
They're holding off on that because they're waiting to see if they can get an arena with some fans in it.
And where will Daniel Cormier be during all these fights? Where will Daniel Cormier be during all these fights?
Well, Daniel Cormier is at home. He's actually built a training facility in his house with cage on the wall.
I thought he'd be
commentating.
Yeah.
No. I think Bisping sort of stepped into those shoes at the moment. Right. So I think it's Dominic Cruz, John Anik, and Michael Bisping seem to be doing the commentary for UFC these days.
What do you make of that team? Do you like it?
I do like it. I actually think Bisping's like very real when he's doing his commentary, which I do like. He is, and like I don't think anyone gives a better insight into a fighter's perspective than Dominic Cruz does. And then John Anik is like just there to say, "This fight is brought to you by Modelo Beer. Drink yours now."
But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. Like, obviously, we're going to have some more guests on, and we're going to discuss it. And then Ian Gary said he'd come on again and do a 251 countdown, like preview show as well, which I'm looking forward to because it's just good. It's good to have it back.
Yeah, well, we quickly discussed last week's fights.
Yeah. If you are new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe because there are more shows coming very, very soon. Ross, we are going to just discuss the past weekend's UFC event. Dustin Poirier took on Dan Hooker in the lightweight division. Ross, do you want to start with this? Or, yeah, here, do you know what? We should start with this fight and then we should give honorable mentions throughout the card. That's probably the best way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's no better place to go on this card than the main event because this was a fight of the year contender. I was actually shocked that this one ended up going the distance. Dan Hooker was incredible in the first 2 rounds, and he threw the kitchen sink at Poirier. Both these guys have absolutely incredible chins. Hooker was throwing he was swinging these punches from the hip, and he was connecting with Poirier. And he was throwing these front teeps, but then Poirier was coming back with these body shots and these straights down the pipe. It was actually such an exciting fight, and Hooker won the first 2 rounds, and then Poirier, showing his championship material still, came back and won the last 3 rounds. It was 2-2 going into the fifth, and Poirier was more so the Robbie Lawler to Hooker's Johnny Hendricks. It was incredible. It was a fight of the year kind of. What did you think I was going to say, Rory McDonald?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't jump in there.
Yeah, so look, Dustin Poirier, what a guy.
First of all, perfect matchmaking.
Yeah, brilliant. I think it was rank 3 against rank number 5. One thing that was discussed going into this fight was apparently there's a curse. Anyone who ever beats Paul Felder loses their next fight. And Dan Hooker beat Paul Felder and lost his next fight.
Yeah, but there was a rumor anytime Bruce Buffer announced you in and you give him the pump, you lose.
Oh, there's so many different rumors, but what was it? You get your hair cut on the countdown and you've lost.
That's one you noticed.
Yeah. So look, Dustin Poirier, I feel like he's either gonna have to fight Conor McGregor.
Sorry, who's Dustin Poirier gonna have to fight next?
Oh, sorry, Basmo. I thought we froze there for a sec. I think he's gonna have to fight Tony Ferguson or Conor McGregor next. That's how I got him.
And what do you think is more realistic? Because I saw the Mac Life for sharing pictures of Conor saying there's nothing like a Conor McGregor weigh-in. They edited a picture of the WWE belt on him, all this sort of stuff.
I actually think the Ferguson fight is more likely. Tony Ferguson, as much people like to hate on whatever, he actually did a Make-A-Wish thing this week and did an online Zoom training class with a fan for over an hour. So he gave a fan over an hour of his time. He is a nice guy, Tony Ferguson. You know what I mean? He's just a bit wild and crazy.
Yeah. Aren't we all, man? But
and then as for Dan Hooker,
yeah,
I feel like he shouldn't really drop from the rankings after this fight, but I don't really know who he's supposed to fight next. Maybe like a rematch with Paul Felder is what's next.
Jesus.
Because if you look at the rest of the division, obviously he's not going to get the Tony Ferguson fight. Obviously he's not going to get a Conor McGregor fight. Khabib and Gaethje are fighting each other. Poirier's just beaten. And then Charles Oliveira is almost coming off a win. Makhachev coming off. I think Islam Makhachev is then going to be matched up with Charles Oliveira. So maybe it's a rematch against Felder, or maybe an Aloy Quinta fight could be a good fight for him. That would be an absolute scrap anyway.
Yeah. How many of them fights can you really go through, those absolute wars?
I know, it's insane. Dan Hooker's face looked like he got run over by a bus after the fight. Also, he had to go back to New Zealand and do 14-day quarantine away from his family. How shite is that for him?
Oh my God.
So you came back, you lost, and then you don't get to see your friends and family for 14 days.
Well, you went to the very next day.
Well, I think the day or the day after. But in fairness, there's not much hanging around Vegas, you know what I mean? And if you know you have to do a quarantine for 2 weeks when you get home, you might as well go home the next day. Otherwise, it's 3 weeks to see your friends and family.
The stuff these fighters do is unreal. It's actually unreal.
And we can't really move off the card without discussing the co-main event. Your mate, Platinum Mike Perry, showing up with his girlfriend in his corner, fighting Mickey Gall. Mike Perry was very dominant in this fight. Even the grappling exchanges, he was dominant. I was very, very impressed with him. But it did sort of look like a man versus a boy. I think Mickey Gall's only got about 7 fights in his MMA career. And he looks like he's not cutting it in the UFC anymore. He's almost got a better name recognition than anything else. In fairness, if you look at the people he fought CM Punk. Then, I think he fought Mike Jackson, who's a journalist first.
Yeah.
He fought CM Punk and he fought Sage Norco. So like it was almost like he was like the celebrity killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think he can really cut it with the big boys. Also, if you look at him like physique wise, he almost looks sort of skinny fat compared to.
He is very slender. Yeah.
Mike Perry's more like bulky, but
Yes.
Josh Thompson, I was listening to him and John McCarthy the other podcast during the week. Shout out to Josh, good friend of mine and the show. He came up with this brilliant idea. To make money, what you do is you charge a super fan who has a lot of money and say, look, you can have 10, you pay me 10, 15 grand and you can be in my corner for the next fight. What do you think of that?
Whoa.
But if you're going to show up with no cornerman, you know what I mean? You get 15 grand for someone who could corner you.
Yeah, but no offense, right? Who's going to really pay 10 grand? No offense to like Maurice Green, who won over the weekend, you know, or.
Well, I'm not saying Maurice Green, but like Mike Perry could fight Nate Diaz, or you could fight Darren Till next. You know what I mean? And like people might actually pay 10 grand to go corner. Like that could be someone's dream.
Yeah.
I feel like you could probably get a GoFundMe together. You know, send little Timmy to corner Mike Perry in the UFC.
Oh, okay, right. I was thinking more along the lines of some like 40-year-old man at home being like, I want to be in Mickey Gall's corner because he beat CM Punk, and I prefer John.
But you could have something like that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but money's money, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Perry, what a man! The first person to ever win a fight with no real corner person, or his girlfriend only as a corner person in the UFC. I actually think that makes the sport look slightly bad. You know what?
Yeah, well, we going into this, we both thought that he'd win as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it was just because I thought he was a man and Mickey Gall was a boy that he'd get the job done.
Yeah. Also, like looking into what's next for Mike Perry, obviously a very, very entertaining personality, and like obviously, I don't know if he's cracked into the top 15 yet, but he was calling out Nate Diaz.
I like that fight. I almost think, if he takes that fight and if he wins, he almost fight like Jorge Masvidal, like a BMF job. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even think of that. But like, wouldn't like Nate Diaz is getting slated online. Like, in his last 10 fights, he's lost 6 of them at least. I think maybe if not 7. What's Nate Diaz do here? He's just like he's a bit.
I think Nate Diaz almost has to hang out for a Conor fight or a Jorge Masvidal rematch because like they're the only way he's getting paid a lot of money.
What do you think?
Well, I'd like to see Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I was like, obviously, I'd like to see it.
Well, I'd sort of like to see McGregor fight Justin Gaethje and Masvidal fight the winner of Usman versus Burns. Preferably Usman. I'm not like clamoring to see Masvidal versus Burns, and then Diaz versus
You could
Mike
be after
Perry.
next weekend.
Yeah, I do have this slight feeling that if Burns wins, Leon Edwards will fight next for the belt.
That's not a bad shout either.
And like if Edwards beats Burns, but then I'm okay to see Edwards versus Masvidal because they have beef.
Yeah, it's just looking at with Nate Diaz. He walks around as if he has a belt. You know, his name does carry a lot of it does carry a large audience, and I don't know if he look at Mike Perry and be like, "You're on my level." So, do you actually think Nate Diaz is sitting there being like, "Mike Perry, you're not on my level. I won't even entertain this," or do you think Nate Diaz would be like, "You know what? I can get a decent purse off this"? But also, bearing in mind, Dana mightn't pay Nate as much money for this sort of fight.
Well, I don't think he's going to get as much money for this sort of fight, just because they're probably not going to headline a pay-per-view together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is Mike Perry a good enough name, or sort of like a bad enough MFer to get Nate Diaz off the seat? I think potentially so. Like,
Okay.
he can talk enough trash. He can, he's a good dance partner, put it that way.
Definitely, yeah. I'd agree.
I think the only other shout-outs I want to give on this card is Maurice Green, the crochet boss. He cries after every fight doing his interview, which I think is quite funny because he's like 6'7" and an absolute monster. He beat all-time dad bod Gian Vellante. He looked in dreadful shape.
Yeah, what was the story with that? Yeah.
I was like, bloody hell, that fella's got absolute quarantine belly on him. What did he think of when you moved up to heavyweight? You have to try and hit 265, did he?
Yeah.
He weighed in 255 pounds. That's a lot moving up from light heavyweight. And then also shout out to Juicy J, Julian Rosa, who returns back to the UFC. I think it's only for the second time, but it feels like for like the fourth time. And he got a win by guillotine, so fair play to him.
Yeah. Also, the Brendan Allen won as well, and I saw that Little Wayne actually tweeted out about him.
Oh, I saw that as well.
It's funny how like a lot of people will be interested in the UFC, like major superstars. But do you think they're really interested, or do you think they just do it to get the UFC fans to start supporting their stuff?
I think it's almost a bit along the lines of they're interested from people from their own area. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So like they're willing to shout out, Brendan Allen because he's from the same area as him.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
But he wouldn't be watching the countdowns on his phone. Like.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure James Gallagher gets some like famous shout outs when like he's fighting, if that makes sense. Now I would say Conor McGregor, but I think he just gets shout outs from everyone, so that doesn't count. But I think your hometown guys are sort of what's up,
Yeah. But like after seeing that as well, I think more and more people are going to be more and more following MMA, especially UFC, over the next while.
Here's a question for you. Would you like to see a sort of once-off celebrity MMA card? Like full celebs?
Didn't they not do that in England? But
yeah,
it was
like it didn't really go down. Also, no, but I'm talking about American celebs. No. Reality TV stars.
Okay.
I'm talking about like you try and get like proper actors or like proper musicians.
I think that would have been a great idea to do here, but like obviously Ireland doesn't have enough celebs because like people in Fair City aren't seen as celebs. But if they did,
also just like 50 Cent's always talking about fighting. I'm like, he could be the main event.
Great idea, yeah. Actually, yeah. If they did something like a Winter Warrior with celebs, sort of, but like I don't think people would like the phrase "wimp." I mean, 50 Cent would be like, "I'm not a wimp."
Yeah, but like, what if you sort of hitched? We'll just say Bellator because I feel like there's a greater chance of a Bellator like going with this idea, right? And each person, just say you found 8 celebs, right? So four fights, and each celeb got an episode on TV, and they had a fighter. They were each assigned a fighter. If that makes sense. So like, 50 Cent gets partnered up with Czech Congo, and then he fights. What's your man's name is Ben Affleck, who's Batman. I just picked him because he's Batman. And Ben Affleck goes with Ryan Bader, and then on that card also, or like on the night after's card or whatever, Bader fights Congo for the heavyweight title. If that makes sense.
I get you. So it's ultimate. It's like a bit like the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's basically.
And then like you get a big UK celeb, like obviously not Gordon Ramsay, and then like he trains at MVP. You know what I mean? And then you get
Gordon
Marco
Ramsay.
Pierre White, and he trains with not Roy McDonald, Tom Fitch, and then they fight each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Jamie Oliver for a second. The winner fights Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like that's what you do when you like clam them together.
Yeah, is this creating entertainment, man? Really.
Yeah. And then you get Cardi B, and she trains with Dylan Dennis. He fights Minaj.
Well, Dylan Dennis is still breaking the internet, you know that. And also Ryan Garcia, the boxer, people are calling him out. Like Sean O'Malley said he wants to kick him in the head.
I think Henry Cejudo was going to end up boxing him, you know that?
it's just there's so much crossover between this boxing and MMA stuff. Like, I mean, we all know the boxer's going to win the boxing, the MMA fighter's going to win the MMA. Like, Darren Till even said it himself there recently. He's like, I wouldn't mind fighting in Eddie Hearn's back garden and just take a hiding for a bit of cash.
Who said that?
Darren Till.
Yeah, well, as long as the cash was worth it, you know what I mean?
That's him, man.
Yeah, speaking of Eddie Hearn in his back garden, are you excited to see that?
Yeah, for people that haven't seen, Eddie Hearn as now is going to be hosting 5 events.
And one will be pay-per-view.
No, sorry, 4 events. One says here it's in Oklahoma. So 4 events in his back garden. Which is so funny. He literally took a page out of Dana White's book.
He was so funny because in his interview he was like, "This is what we do," and I was like, "That's exactly what Dana White says." He might have like worn the bald wig and was like, "We put on fights."
It's fair play to him. He's getting back in action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's sort of one card that we want to look at, though, isn't there? As you're going to say, Katie Taylor is fighting Amanda Serrano on it. It's a done deal. Barry, how excited are you for this one?
Is that 100% agreed? Yeah, I'm just on the website here. It doesn't say that.
They were on Twitter the other day, and Amanda Serrano said the contract was signed. I think the delay was on her end.
Okay, it's actually Katie Taylor's birthday on Thursday, the 2nd of July. Today's the 1st. Yeah, Katie Taylor. Like, it's almost like a Conor McGregor event anytime Katie Taylor's fighting. Well, for me personally, just because like what she's done for Ireland, it's just great to see.
Do you think there's going to be a bit of bad blood here because Katie Taylor beat Cindy Serrano, Amanda Serrano's sister?
No, I don't think so at all.
I don't know. I think when she was fighting Cindy Serrano, like she tried to get in her face a bit. So I'll be interested to see here. But at least she's actually fighting someone who I know who they are, which is like one of the few people in the world. So that's going to be good.
Yeah, that's going to be August 22nd.
Do you think Katie Taylor's on that as like the co-main event to get more people to buy the pay-per-view then?
Yeah, man. Come on.
Yeah, but I know. But obviously, because like if that one wasn't a pay-per-view, because when they were announced, I didn't realise that this fight was a pay-per-view. And I was like, why are they putting those two on the same night? Because I thought it was all like just free on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously that makes it more of a pay-per-view. And obviously it's been headlined by Dillian White. He's fighting Povetkin.
Yeah, what are you expecting for this one, Ross? Because Povetkin was, he put in a good performance against Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he did. He looked sort of solid for the first 6 or 7 rounds, and then Joshua sort of took over. I think he's about 40, Povetkin. But I'm more interested in Dillian White's like going nuts online over at Tyson Fury. He's because he's actually the mandatory challenger for Tyson Fury's belt, and he says Tyson Fury's ducking him. I don't think if you're trying to fight Anthony Joshua, you're actually ducking anyone. But he's also calling him Luke, which is his real name.
Dylan White's real name is Luke?
Tyson Fury's real name is Luke.
Oh, Tyson Fury's real name is Luke?
Yeah, he was like Chris and Luke.
Oh, I thought, how come they were saying he was called Tyson then?
Well, that's just what people call him.
I thought he was actually born. From all the stuff I've watched, it was like I had to name him Tyson after Mike Tyson.
Apparently, he was Chris and Luke anyway. But that's what I only have Dillian White's word to say that. I don't know how certain that is, but he keeps on calling him Luke anyway. And I was watching, but it reminded me of sort of when CM Punk was fighting Mickey Gall. He was like, "Yeah, Phil," and I was just like, I don't think he gives a shit if you call him Phil. Really, to be honest.
Funky.
Yeah. So, like Dillian White's an interesting character. You know what I mean?
He is.
So, I wonder will he be able to talk himself into a fight with Fury in 2021.
These are going to be like crazy events as well going on in Eddie Hearn's backyard.
Yeah,
but like
Eddie Hearn's actually quite funny because he manages Dillian White, I think, as far as I'm aware. But he did at one stage. I don't know whether he still does. But like, he seems like a very difficult and loose cannon to be managed.
This all kicks off in his backyard on August the 1st, and it's SAG. This is sort of funny. I don't know why. Sam Eggington versus Ted Cheeseman is the headline in the first.
So what you prefer, eggs or cheese? I think I prefer eggs.
So do I. You can't write this stuff, man. You really, really cannot.
Yeah, but I think that's sort of is all the combat sports news then really for the week, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there was nothing outrageous during the week. Also, Ireland's Eric Donovan's going to be fighting on the 14th of August as well, so that's something to look forward to as well.
On
But
the
yeah,
Eric.
this one, like, for people tuning in, like, thanks a million, because like there's not going to be something every week, and not everyone's going to be tuning
slow
in.
week.
Yeah, not everyone's going to be tuning in to hear a recap of what happened with Poirier and Hooker, but going over what we expect from Fight Island, and just thinking that, like, letting you know what we sort of think and what are the possibilities of this, that, and the other. It's an interesting thing just to run to your brain and like let us know what your thoughts are as well.
Absolutely. And if you are watching this video, go over to Platinum Mike Perry's Instagram then, tell him that the Energized lad should corner him in his next fight just for the crack.
I'll bring the water. What will you bring?
The ice.
No, I'll bring the egg and you bring the cheese, man. But Ross, good stuff. We'll be back again next week. We'll be obviously getting
back again. Make
sure
to like, share, subscribe, and as always,
stay energized.